Hello, my name is Rene and it's good to see you again. In this lecture we will see how to install cookies to your computer and what are the main data types overly at QGIS. So let's begin. What is the purpose for this lecture? It's to see how to download cookies, how to install it, and make yourself familiar with QGIS tools and interfaces. The topics I'm gonna cover are QGIS install, QGIS data types, QGIS interface, importing QGIS layers to project, and saving a QGIS project. They are all very important topics to understand very basics of the QGIS and overly QGIS systems. So, QGIS, what is it? Open source and free to download application. So this is really one of the many QGIS applications. There are more than that, and I choose it especially because it has a good documentation. Also, it's open source, so you don't have to pay any fees. Let's skip first part, the QGIS install, and we are jumping to the data types. So there are two main types of data in QGIS overly. Of course, that means in QGIS it is the same. The first one is the raster, and the second one is the vector. And I'm covering first the theory, and afterwards we see how to practice it. So, two main types of data in QGIS, and when you think about data overly, you can think a little bit about Excel. You have table with rows and columns, and when this table is in one piece, it gives us some kind of information. When we watch all the columns and watch the value inside the cells, but when we take it into the pieces, it's not showing us anything. So it has to have some kind of structure. Yeah, it's like a puzzle that has solved, but when it's unsolved, you don't know the full picture. You don't understand what this puzzle will show you when you solve it. As I said, there are two types of data in QGIS. The first one is raster, and on the picture you see it is arranged from rows and columns, and forms as grid, and you see this one rectangle is called as pixel. And you can talk a little bit about pictures that you have took or your PC screen or your phone screen. There are also those little tiny pixels. When you compare two cameras, you know one camera has like 16 million pixels, and the other one maybe 12 million pixels. That means how many rectangles will your camera took from the skin. So this is one way how to arrange the data in the database inside the QGIS or overlay QGIS. This arrangement way or technique is very good for variable changing data like height, raindrops, population. So all the data is organized to columns and rows, and every cell has own value. And let's move on. When you zoom in one picture, you see always those rectangles, those cells or pixels, and they have mostly little different color between two nearby pixels. So when one pixel has value, it will shows the color of this pixel when we do a photo. Let's take a bigger photo. This is orthophoto, and you see when I zoom in, I have grid, and every cell has a number, and I have also a legend that will correspond 10 different colors. And as I'm plotting those rasters, I'm getting that 1 meter in real life is 1 pixel on the photo. It is important to understand that every pixel has a number or value inside, and it's corresponding some kind of data. At the moment, this data is like colors, but it could not be. It could be something else. Also, you can think about it like when you have grid or some kind of area, and you want to plot those heights from the ground to the plane, because you are flying with plane over the area. Then you just have to measure the heights from the ground, and you plot those to the map, and you now you have like grid, and every cell there is some kind of value, and this value will correspond to the height. Okay, that was raster data. Let's move on to the vector data. This is the second way how to manage old data inside QGIS. So every object has a position. This is very important. So you have like coordinate and attributes. Attributes are like features you have, and it will give an extra information about the object. When we are forming vector objects, we could distinguish 3 different sub data types. So those are points, polygons, and lines. The easiest one are points, and we see them today also. The line is really when we connect 2 points together. And then we have polygon, that is really also using points and lines, but the origin and destination points are the same. It is very good to use for areas, to represent areas, and lines are very good to represent streets, and points are very good to represent cities. We can like see how 2 different types of data in QGIS will have difference between them. Also, when we see this picture, the first one is the raster. You see there are tiny cells. Also, every cell has a different color or the same color, it depends. And it is formed as a grid. The vector data is a little bit different. You see there are like lines, and you don't see those grid cells. And the real world, of course, is absolutely different. But in QGIS, we want to represent real life as good as we can. Okay, but let's go to QGIS homepage and download it. So let's go to the QGIS.org, and this is the official homepage. You see, we have to go to the download now, and we have downloads for different platforms. I will use, of course, the Windows one, but you have also for macOS and Linux. You have to take one standalone installer. I prefer to use most stable, or when you want to be updated, you can use newest one. I will skip the downloading part. Now I already downloaded and installed QGIS, so I will open it, QGIS, and you have to open QGIS desktop. It takes little time to open up. So this is the first view. Maybe you have little bit different view, but it's not the problem. So we have recent projects that are already saved projects, and we have project templates. I will click on the new empty project, and new window appeared. So what we have here are, on the top we have different tools, and you can change and add new toolbars by right click over here, and you have to toggle those panels or toolbars in. You have map area over here that is empty at the moment because we don't have any layers, and we have browser panel that we can navigate in our folder system and add new layers to our project. So first thing is to add from the Open Data Source Manager a world map under the tiles. You see you have maybe to click on the arrow. You have OpenStreetMap. Double click on it. What we will see now is the world map. You can zoom in and see how many features there is. And also you see there is a new layer on the layers panel. This is OpenStreetMap. You can toggle in and out it, so it's not showing or showing it. And you can navigate on the map by clicking on the left mouse, and you can zoom in and out by mouse wheel. Also you see under here you have different things that you are not knowing at the moment, but the scale, you see scale is changing, and also we have something that is very important, but we are covering it afterwards, coordinates. But now let's add another layer. So we could do our first exercise. I will show you how to open new project. We haven't saved it, so new project, and discard because we don't want to save it. And we have to go back to the Open Data Source Manager. And now let's import from the vector, add vector layer. That means we had a vector data type layer, file, and vector datasets. We have to browse from our folder system. I know where are mine. You all have those QGIS data folders and files. You downloaded it from the drive, Google Drive. And we will take save file, and let's take the protected areas .ship. Open, and add. You see new vector data layer appeared, and think about what kind of sub layer vector data type is it. Next, let's add a background to understand the context where this layer is located on the world. So add from the browser panel, you can navigate faster. Let's take OpenStreetMap board, and you see you don't see any protected areas anymore, those red polygons. It is because there are hierarchy on the layers, so you have to like click and drag it under, and you see the hierarchy will change. Let's zoom out a little bit and see where this protected area is located. Okay, it is on the South Africa. Let's zoom it in again. When you are lost on your map somewhere, you can always click on the layer you want to show and right clicked and zoom to layers. Now I will show you a very important part. I will show you how to save your project. I will go to the project, save as, and I will make a new folder. Now I will navigate to the exercise folder, and I will type file name for the project, and why not project 1. Of course, I want to notice that save as type should be QGIS project type. This is the file extension, and save. Now you see on the top of the screen there is project name also, and what project file or saving the project will make is that when you open the project itself, it will contains references to the layers. It's not containing the layers itself, but it shows where to find those layers. So when you change layers location in your folder system, it will not find it anymore. Next task is to add some data layers to your project, and of course save your project also at the end of the work. I will show you second or easier way how to manage your data layers. When you open Data Source Manager, you have something here as favorites, but you have also all your folder system, and I know where is my QGIS data folder, so I will navigate to there. And what I want to do is to right click over here and add as favorite. So you see I don't have to navigate through all those folders. I just have to now open the folder over here, and you see you will find the save file over here also. So there are like 4 of them, so places. I will add it, and you have to add all the other ones. Now when you have add those layers, you see they appear also on the layers panel. And next we will just toggle off the OpenStreetMap because it's disturbing us a little bit. What we have here are like 4 different layers on the same map, and you see there are different vector file types. When you hover over the layer, you see this is the multi-polygon. The second one is also polygon. The third one is line, and the fourth one is point. So after that, you save your work. I saved the project, and let's have a new concept of symbology. Symbology is something that you will find very helpful to understand your data better and to change the visualizing. So let's take the first one, protected areas. You go to the Symbology panel, you have to click on the Open Layer Styling panel. And over here, you see all the features you can change. So you see over here is a color, opacity, units, and so on. So when you click on that down arrow, you can change the color, and you can change the opacity also, so it is a little bit lighter. You have predefined symbologies and lookings over here. Now you can try change the other layers symbology also and how they look. Just remember to click on the layer you want to change. So when I want to change the way how the water looks like, I'll have to click on the water. You see the layer styling also change to the water, or you can click and choose from here the layers. Like you see on the map, I have changed different the layers outlook. I will change little bit the hierarchy, so places should be on the top because it's then not on under the protected areas. Also the reverse should be a little bit up, and I see the reverse is little thin. I will change the width of the reverse layer data. I will change it to 1. It's too much, so 0.8. Okay, it's okay. It's easier to see them. So what we have here over here is different layers. And what is the layer? We could say that layer is called a map with one data type. Is it vector or raster? It's collecting one data type and associated with one name. So when I have like places, I want to gather here all the places related data that appear to be point layer. Rivers, under the rivers, I want to add all the rivers data as it appeared to be a line. I don't want to add over here streets or something because it's messing up everything. So I will make a separate layer afterwards. Let's see the next thing inside the cookies, but first let's save it. Next part is what we said about attributes. So vector data has kind of attributes, and they add an extra information about the feature. And let's see what feature will the places show us. Layer places. Click on the places and right click, open attribute table, and we will dock it. When you click on the dock attribute table tool, you can change the looking a little bit, hide. And what we have over here is every feature has own like row, yeah. and every row has many features, attributes, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When we associate one feature with the attribute, like let's take the name, it's easier. Then we have value inside the cell, and when I click on the first one, it shows with the yellow one over here what kind of point gathering at the moment. But what is there very powerful inside QGIS is that you can somehow represent information by those attributes. Let's see how to make it. Let's click on the places and go to the open the layer styling panel. You see over here you have to click on the labels, and at the moment there is no labels, but we will take the single labels. And you see at the moment we are showing attribute value of the name, and when the first one has the name of the Swellendam, then we have label over here that shows the attribute inside the name name cell, and it appears to be a Swellendam. You can change it. Maybe you want to show on the labels places. Yeah, we can change them. Vector data, and vector data holds coordinates and of course the attributes that give an extra information about that feature. Like when we have first feature as this point over here, we know that the name of that feature is Swellendam. So of course save a project. So that was everything from QGIS today, and next I want to make a little conclusion that QGIS is one of the many GIS applications. Layer is so-called map with one data type. It can consist of only one data type, and mostly you have to like categorize your data. Layers called visualize, so you can change how it look. A layer order has significant impact how things are shown. So when your hierarchy is changed, the way how those layers are shown on the map is also changed a little bit. And we have OpenStreetMap, that is very good as it is very covering all the world, and it's free to use. And now you know how to add it. You also know that we have two data types. We have vector and raster. We seen today a vector data type, but we haven't seen a raster one. We know that how to change the visualize of the layers, and we know that the layer order has significant impact, and we know how to save the project. We don't know how to add layers or how to save layers. We watch it next time and try to practice a little bit by adding layers. You can take them from the QGIS data folder or just visualize it a little bit, change the color, try to do different attributes, change a little bit something. Don't do exactly what I did, but change it a little bit and try to make your own changes. So this is everything, and thank you for your attention.